All right, guys, we are live. It is the 22nd of December. Oh, he's gonna keep rambling. I can still hear you, sir. They can't. So, HeartlandDefenders.com, Heartland Defenders here on YouTube. Oh, look, you can see the YouTube. And now you can see HeartlandDefenders.com, where we do have a Heartland shop with t-shirts and decals. And we may have masks if you find us at the gun shows. So please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so you know we come live. There's a couple online already, ready to go from what I see in the comments. All worked up, ready to go. So let's get Mike and Jacob in here now that Jacob's done rambling.
Really?
Hello, guys. Oh, look at that. That's in the way, too.
Hey, yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'm just sharing the F-book here.
Yeah. Oh, boy. That's it's only for a good thing. That's fine.
Exactly.
Oh, because F-book's been driving me crazy again with all this, the craziness of this is this, and this is this, and why would you do this? And there's no, come on, man, give me some proof. Give me some kind of substance into what you're trying to tell me, because...
Dude, and it's from both. It's from everywhere. I'm so again. I'm just so. I'm sick of so much of it that I'm just sick. Really am. I'm just so sick of all of it.
Right.
From all of them, because they're all so full of shit anymore.
I mean, and even some of the people that I've really, really used to really enjoy listening and watching have gotten to the point where they've jumped on board with the here's some BS information with nothing backing it up. And I'm like,
right.
Really? Why? Oh.
Well, and that's what you got to wonder, right? Hold on here. I almost got it.
I don't know why that was popped up, but that's fine.
Share. Okay.
Yep, always share. Like, subscribe, all of you, all 7 of you right now. It's close enough to Christmas. If you share us now, you'll have something to talk about in a couple of days.
That's right.
It was like yesterday. For the love of God, it was yesterday. Message me, go, hey, Heartland Defenders posted something on YouTube. I went, posted what?
Really?
It was our video from last Tuesday.
It took that long for them to get you an email from last Tuesday? Really? Because I did
the notification. I'm like, dude, go hit the freaking bell so you actually know. Being subscribed doesn't mean shit. Hit the bell so you know we're here.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, because I didn't do anything to change anything on a video or anything from last Tuesday, so.
Well, it must be running like the fucking post office, because I'm about tired of their asses, too.
Oh, yeah,
No, I got the best one for you. Did you know, apparently a package shipped from Columbus, Ohio, needs to travel from Columbus, Ohio, 2 days to Cincinnati, Ohio, for another day back to Columbus, Ohio, to then sit in the warehouse in Columbus, Ohio for 2 days, and then tell me it's on its way to your house, and it's still not here.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
You aren't even close.
Yeah.
So
All of my shit's in Ohio.
I ordered my contacts on December 4th.
Okay.
Their warehouse is in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
They left Columbus, Ohio on December 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They then went to Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Where they sat for 3 days. And then they went to Greenville, South Carolina, where they sat for 2 days.
Yep.
And then they went to Atlanta, Georgia, where they sat for 2 days. And then they went to, currently, where they've been sitting for 3.5 days, Indianapolis, Indiana.
What the
They
fuck?
have literally traveled 43 hours on the road to go 2 hours north.
Yeah.
Mine's been a 5-day extravaganza. Still haven't got it, and it's a 35-minute drive from the shop that packaged it.
Right.
Right.
From my house.
Right. We actually, I ordered Jane a plant that she's been wanting really bad for a while now. And I ordered it from, I think, Maryland. And it came into Pennsylvania. They shipped it today. They put a heat pack in it so the plant wouldn't freeze. It took almost 7 days to get here. And it sat in Pennsylvania,
don't worry,
20
guys.
minutes away for 3 days.
Don't worry, guys. These are the same people that ensured the vulnerabilities and the issues with the election wouldn't be a problem.
You know.
Yeah. Right.
Remember that. Just remember that.
They're probably going to still find ballots 2 years from now.
I got a feeling my package might be left in a ditch somewhere in Arizona.
Right.
Dude, I can't even, well, and what irritates me the most is that I found out because I called obviously the contact place. I know they're not, it is what it is. They're not the post office.
The shippers, only thing they can say is what's on the screen. Same thing.
Right. And so I shipped. Well, here's what I found out though, and I wish somebody would have said something. If I have them shipped to the store, the store doesn't use the USPS. They use UPS and they get it in 2 days.
Yep.
I'm like, you motherfuckers. I'm like, well, why didn't you give me that option?
Well, right. So UPS, Amazon, UPS, Amazon, and FedEx is having no problems.
Oh, don't say that. No. Do not say that, because some items from Amazon get shipped through USPS.
Right.
We had one. It was supposed to be here like December 2nd. It showed up yesterday.
Amazon shipping. They're actually Amazon's thing.
Amazon. Yeah.
Other than they will put on there
I try and stick with Prime, because I think when you're with Prime, when you stick with a Prime item, usually it comes on an Amazon delivery.
That's humorous as well. I ordered a couple of things through Prime for 1 day shipping. 3 days later, I got them.
You're in the butthole of Ohio, so that's why you keep getting USPS.
I've never had problems with Prime.
My honest belief is, with the Amazon stuff, it depends on who you're buying from. If you buy Prime from Amazon, you're going to get it within the 1 or 2 days ship time.
Yeah.
Fair.
If you order from mom and pop with Prime, it ships from them, they stick it in whatever box they got, print whatever label maker they got, it's in the mail.
Yeah, that's fair.
So...
Yeah. So,
anyways,
but the fine point of this conversation, folks, is we're not just talking about how shitty the mail system is.
No.
Right?
No.
The fine point of this is these are the people that in the late part of this year told us, don't worry, guys, your mail-in ballots are safe with us.
They are safe with us.
So safe.
They might not reach their destination, but they're safe with us.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, something like that.
We'll safely make sure that you didn't vote.
Have you ever called USPS?
Why bother?
I did today. So I'll just give you a brief synopsis. You ready? You call them. They say, thank you for calling. The first thing you hear is a dissertation on why COVID is bad and how they're taking care of it. And then it goes to the prompt, and you pick, package inquiry. So you go into package, and it asks you, does your number start with a letter or a number? And you say a number or a letter, whichever one it is. Then it wants you to, you know how the shipping numbers are like 17, 18, 19 numbers or whatever?
Yeah.
They want you to key that in on your touchpad of your phone.
Yeah.
The whole number. I did it. I'm waiting for somebody, an option to be like, to talk to a representative.
Oh, no, you're not going to get that.
For your package, I'm literally looking, because I was on the shipping information, where it was and all that. It literally read to me the exact thing I was looking at where I got the shipping number from. Of where my package was. I'm like, well, that doesn't help Dick.
Well, it is a government agency, so does anything else really need to be said?
Right.
I don't know. It's all. But you know what? We still use it, right? So it's kind of like everything else. We just kind of like.
But I think we just
how
said.
it is.
I think we just said no, not really. We don't really use it. I think I think we kind of get stuck into using it because we order something from this other person who ships it through USPS, or we go to a website that's not Amazon or whatever, and we find that holiday gift and we order it and they ship it through, the slowest of slow mail options for the lowest of low rates, and this is what you get. You get a package drive through 5 fucking states to get 2 hours away. You get a package that literally on the fucking sheet for it, it says 1 day delivery, and it's been fucking 5 days.
Oh, well,
an hour.
Dylan's girlfriend was waiting for a check that was mailed 2-day priority.
Mm-hmm.
A day before Thanksgiving, she got it yesterday.
Oh, wow.
See, they can use that. That's the excuse they can use right there. Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
But still, though, Thanksgiving was almost a month away. It took a month for a 2-day priority letter to get where it needed to go. Now, my question, though, is, was it redirected from a change of address? Because if that's the case, it'll take that long. Change of address is ridiculous.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's what I kind of thought so too. But no, it was sent to here. It was wow.
No.
But doesn't it just kind of epitomize government? I mean, it's just. Of course.
I always thought the DMV epitomized the government, but am I wrong? And I heard somebody say that the DMV is privately owned. It's not actually a government organization.
Yes, the Title Bureau, I believe, is still the government.
Yeah.
Ohio.
I heard Title Bureau is the government, BMV is not. So how are they still so fucked up?
BMV, you know what? Here's funny for me. I've never had a problem with the BMV, though. I've been in and out of the BMV the past 10 years, no problem.
Yeah,
dude, the one here in town, you go take a number, you're gonna wait 2.5, 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's like being in California. You gotta take a day off of work.
COVID, but I'll say this: my used to be little town, dude. I'm not lying to you. Every drive-through restaurant in this town has a line around the fucking building every day. The roads are packed. They built. Years ago, they built a bypass around Lancaster, and all the people were like, oh, it's going to kill business in Lancaster. It's just going to ruin it. It's 10 times more busy in this town than it ever was before that fucking bypass.
There you go.
It would be a lot easier to support your local mom and pop shop if they could stay open long enough. Now, luckily, a couple of them over here by me, a restaurant specifically, they closed for this week and next week. And it gave all of their employees paid vacation for the entire 2 weeks. It's a mom and pop restaurant here. They were like, we're just going to do this because they've been so great in doing everything they've done. They've made enough money to be able to do that. Now there's some other ones around here. Oof, I don't know, man.
Well, and that's the kind of thing. If and we don't have to. I don't know if we'll get into the whole stimulus thing or if we'll wait till next week, but. If you get that money, that's where you should spend it.
Right.
You should go take that to small shops in your area. It can be a mom and pop gun shop. What?
A gun show.
Don't give it back to Walmart's already going to get their money. They're not hurting. Their stock's fine.
Yep.
Go to your small town. Go to restaurants, get takeout, whatever. But use it locally.
Mike, you have to look at it this way. The reason Walmart is bigger than mom and pop, the reason Amazon is bigger in most aspects than Walmart or Target or any of these other stores, it's not the convenience, it's not the atmosphere, it's simply that they have the entire selection of things you need. You can walk into a mom and pop shop and you'll find one or two things you might like, but they don't have guaranteedly what you need.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but that's that's the genius behind. I mean, that's why I know people kill Walmart, but dude, the guy was a genius. He figured out, fuck, if I put everything in one store, people will shop here for everything.
Yep.
And they'll come for one thing and leave with 80 things.
And they'll buy 20 other things they don't need to buy. Do you know how many times I've heard the story where people walk into the store for one thing and spend $300 because there's that?
I'm that guy.
Uh-huh. It's like, oh wow, I do need that plastic pitcher for tea. Oh crap, I do need this. And it's like, all of a sudden you're like $120 later, you're like, oh, okay. I came in for cat food.
Yeah, when Walmart stock was down about 10, 15 years ago, I should have bought some because I'd probably be making my own money back.
Yeah.
As much as I spend there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. So what did we do last week, Cosper?
Stood in the cold.
How did that go? I couldn't get time off to get down there in time.
That's not true. You know what though? We had good we had a good conversation. I know myself. I was with 3 other guys on the way down. We had a lot of good conversation on the way down. We had some good conversation while we were there. But again, it was the beginning. It's just a start. Like I've been posting, it has to start somewhere. You have to. I mean, you have to. And I guess that's kind of part of the show tonight. I don't know. Is the fact that only 8 people showed up indicative of what's going on, that we are, people are just resigned to the fact that, you know what, it is what it is. You know what?
It might be more of the restriction of the way Facebook's been keeping things from getting anywhere if it's not clear what it is.
I'm gonna cut you off right there because out of the 8 people that were there, quite a few of us had talked to other people.
Yeah.
Had expressed what was happening to other people. Other people expressed, I'm going to be there. I'm going to go there. I'm going to do this. Is it this? Is it that? What are we doing? Where are we at? How are we doing it? And when it came down to it, and a lot of the folks that watch us on here, watch us in the future, they'll understand this reference coming from me, coming from Cosper, coming from yourself. The usual suspects showed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the same people that I know. If I said, guys, we got to do this and go here for this reason, come hell or high water, they're going to be there.
But, so, I guess that goes to that. The people that were talked to about meeting there on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Did it get into detail about, like, so we're going, there's no party representation, this is all about just us, the people? Did that happen to possibly fall off for a lot of people, maybe?
Maybe not detailed, but it was definitely, I think, especially probably, maybe not myself and Jacob, I think Jacob and I kept it pretty cryptic with most of the people we talked to.
Right.
However, I know some of the other people that were talking to other people did explain to them more, and they got a good reaction. Like, I mean, I know one of the gentlemen had at least 7 people that were like, yeah, dude, I'm there. I am 100% there, and they were 100% not there.
Right. Okay. So, and that's where I question the fact that, a lot of people need to have that large backing of, it represents a party or it represents a group.
Yeah, I know.
That, the only group it was supposed to represent was us, the people, nothing more. And, okay, so, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I just, and it's, you know what? I thought about it a lot on my drive home and with the drive home with the guys for a couple hours and then my own drive home. I'm okay. I'm okay with the turnout in the aspect that I don't think people realize if you go back. And I talked to the guys that showed up a little bit about this. If you go back before all the people we know, before the people who signed the Declaration of Independence, before even the Sons of Liberty, there were, and you'll have to, and I'm going to put something together that I'm going to put out because I just gives people something to look up. It started with the Loyal 9, and the Loyal 9 were the 9 original, colonists way back who basically got together and said, wow, the stuff that the Brits are doing here is kind of shitty. Maybe we need to start something, and maybe we need to move away, or we need to make a statement to them that this isn't okay with us anymore, and this isn't how we're supposed to live under, even under your rule. This isn't how you're supposed to treat us. And if you're not going to give us our freedoms, we're going to take our freedoms. We're going to do it ourselves. And those 9, again, I'll put the names out on here, or I'll put them in the comments somewhere. Can you go back? Yeah, I can go back.
We can go back in the comments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I will. I'll go back later and put them. But the nine guys, the loyal 9 who started everything. It was literally, they were us. It wasn't like, later on where the guys who signed the Declaration of Independence were, other than I think one farmer, they were mostly lawyers, doctors, landowners. I mean, they were pretty prominent men in the colonies. The original 9 who started everything were not. They were, there were several brass makers. There were a couple small businessmen. They were everyday, average, what would probably been middle-class gentlemen back then. And they started, if it wasn't for those 9 guys getting together and starting everything, it may have never, we may not be where we're at right now.
Let me ask you let me ask a question to the people that are watching right now. What would it take for the let's see, Jeremy, you're watching, Cosper, you're watching, so what are we at? 4 people watching?
Well, I'm watching as us, so it probably doesn't count me.
Okay, so 5 people watching. So if 5 people are watching right now live, and if you come in later, it helps the algorithm. Comment in there too. We'll catch it on the backside. But what would it take for you to, as someone who 9 times out of 10 talking to people like we're talking in our chat, feel like you're awake. You're not blind. You're not sleeping through this. What would it take to make you stand up for yourself and show up without it being any specific reason? Without it being a Second Amendment rally, without it being a Trump rally, without it being a debate or a Democrat convention
or a burn the masks
burn the mask event or whatever bullshit event Facebook throws in front of your face. What would it take for you to just fucking walk up to the State House and stand there?
Right. And that's what we did. I mean, and again, I think that's how. Now, there's not a lot about the loyal 9. And when like I said, when I put their names out there might be 1 or 2 guys who still did some things afterwards, but believe it or not, the loyal 9 who started it, the loyal 9 basically helped form the Sons of Liberty, and so on and so forth, and it snowballed from there. But they were the original, and again, they were just average men who did what we did at the State House. They just got together and started talking. They were tired of their, at that time, British rule, not doing things that represented the people, much like I believe is happening now. And they were just average guys who started getting together and having conversations. And so what's it going to take to get you to come and have a conversation? And it's what, it's not even a rally as much as just a gathering of ideas and conversation and finding common ground, even if you're on a different page a little bit.
I'm 100% sure he's not watching this and probably never will. But the individual that stood 20 feet away from us in the camo pants and the combat boots.
Right.
Was it a red hoodie? I think it was a red hoodie.
I think so.
The individual that stood there, myself and Mike were standing there. We looked at you a couple times. You stood there, then you walked away. You walked out to High Street, and then eventually you walked back, kind of stood there again, same spot, had headphones in, right? I'm asking him directly, but I'm asking everybody in the audience too. if you saw a group of people in a circle talking, obviously they're just talking. Have you been, or do you feel like you've been conditioned to not interrupt that conversation or try to get involved in that conversation unless you're like asked to come over there? I mean, for the individual that was standing there on Friday night around 5-6 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
Just so you know, myself and Mike and a couple of the other guys that were there, we looked at you, we glanced at you, and we recognized you from a lot of the other 2A and rally, Patriot rally events that happened at the State House over the last couple of years. And we know that you were not there on the left side or the Democratic side or whatever whatever you want to look at it. We know you were kind of there more often than we saw for the right side, Republican side concept. So I guess my question really straight out is do we need to, as the people trying to get something started, walk up to you and start talking directly to you?
Well, and maybe they did, and maybe that was our, and maybe that was our fault too, because it was kind of a weird situation, and maybe that's what we needed to do, and maybe next time, I think next time when we have that situation, we probably should, again, it's, you could kind of tell, it was almost like we were a group of chicks at a bar, and he was like the dude over there interested, but just didn't want to say something.
Right.
And was worried of rejection or something.
We helped. I don't want to call him a rabbi. I know he was a Jewish individual taking down the menorah.
Yep.
And we saw him. We stood there. We were all just standing around talking. Guy walks up to take down the menorah from the State House.
Yeah, sadly, he had to take down the menorah because the BLM rally was the next day.
So, wow.
Well, there were 4 sandbags that had been laying in the snow and the rain and the water and everything else. So the 50-pound bag was somewhere around 80 pounds, and you could see him having a hell of a time with the first bag. So 3 of us walked over there, picked up the other 3 bags, walked around, had a nice little conversation with the State Highway Patrol out of the State House. That was fun. But we had a conversation with them. It was open. So, yeah, I guess that's my question. For everybody in the comments, and I know we're talking Green Dragon because apparently that's the only thing we know is Green Dragon Tavern. We need a bar to go to and everything else.
I mean, alcohol always makes things better.
Were in a bar,
alcohol always opens it up.
but here's the question. Because we're standing in front of the State House, are you not allowed to walk up and talk to people out of the blue?
Well, in
a bar, you can just walk up to fucking anybody all you want, and nobody gives a shit.
Well,
is that
just like we've talked about before, and I've brought up, you're more likely to be able to be social with somebody in a bar setting than you are just about anywhere else. Hence why bars have the hardest restrictions right now, because they're afraid you're going to pass COVID around. And again, that guy may have also been worried about, if I approach the group and there's more, I mean, how many people were in your group? 8?
There were 8 of us.
So you were already outside of the 6 people in a gathering, even outside, blah, 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 whatever.
That's the problem there.
So
we were also closer than 6 feet.
Well, and
none of us had a mask on our face.
Well, and so some people may be worried about those restrictions, even if they are 2A.
He didn't have a mask on.
He did not have a mask. That's why I had a feeling he was there, only because he didn't have a mask on, and I have a feeling he was there, but because he was a black gentleman, and it was 8 white guys. I have a feeling there was, it's like he did the typical dude with the chick thing. I mean, he came back, he went away. He came back, he went away. I mean, you could see he was like trying to work, and you know what? And we were just probably his fault to not say anything, and we are. And so I guess that proves your point. We are conditioned. Yep. We are kind of conditioned right now to not, not want to go outside our
Not
group.
engage. Do not engage.
Well,
Yeah.
and also does that conditioning of the uncomfortable comfort that we have right now. So everybody's starting to develop this antisocial, I like to stay home, I don't want to do anything mentality. And when I say everybody, I don't mean exactly every 100% of everybody, because there's some people that still don't give a F. They go out every Thursday or Friday night. But is it maybe everybody's getting too comfortable in this new uncomfortableness? Because now they're comfortable, they can stay home, they can be a recluse, they don't have to mess with people or be uncomfortable around people. So they're getting so comfortable, they don't want to do this thing. They'll talk about doing this thing. They'll talk about doing anything, but do they really show up? I mean...
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why, and anybody that follows me on Facebook, and I don't care who's, whoever is or isn't watching, that may care or not care. That's why I'm also looking. Yeah, I'm also looking for. It's part of the reason I'm looking for something in Knox County, to meet, because Knox County is literally geographically dead center in the state.
Yeah,
Knox County is dead center.
Actually, what is it? Centerburg actually is the dead center in Knox County. Yep.
Right. So
now
we're just getting into semantics. Shut up.
Yeah. But I'm looking for, if anybody. If anybody has land, if anybody has a barn, if anybody out there that watches our show, or somebody that doesn't watch our show but believes in the same stuff we're trying to do here, I'm looking for areas that we can meet, and maybe it's more comfortable if we come to maybe people aren't comfortable coming to the State House. Maybe that's part of it.
Because they're watching.
Well, right.
And maybe they were watching.
I'm not gonna lie. That was part of the reason I wanted to do it at the State House, was because I wanted them to see. Because at some point, you have to be seen too.
Right.
I think that you can do things anonymously and make your point. And I think that should be some of that as well. But at some point, you want to be seen, because we want them to know that we're fed up. So that has to be all part of it.
Come on now, Mike. It doesn't really work when there's only 8 people.
But again, you have to start somewhere.
But it does start. It can,
start.
It literally. I mean, those. I have to imagine that those 9 guys. I can't believe that those 9 guys probably only invited 9 guys. I bet they invited a lot of people, because I bet a lot of their neighbors were feeling the same way. I bet they invited them all, and 9 of them showed up.
I think that's what happened with us.
Right.
I mean, I know I invited quite a few. I know that
I did.
You invited quite a few. I know a handful of the other folks that were there invited quite a few. And alas, it was the ones that did the inviting that showed up, and the ones that said, I'll be there, couldn't seem to make it.
Yeah. And again, and maybe, it was kind of the reason that, the Loyal 9 and then the Sons of Liberty, it was part of the reason why they started meeting at places like the Liberty Tree and the Green Dragon, and each other's barns, and on their because they wanted to gain a movement first before they went public with the movement.
Jacob made a statement on there. He said, "Come up to Fulton County. There's a lot of them up there." Why
set it up?
But why do we all have to come to Fulton County when the problem's at the State House?
Oh, and you know what? I think it has to. It's gonna have to. I have a feeling it'll be a lot like. That might be the other part of the approach, is it's probably gonna take a network like that. It's probably gonna take meeting in Knox County, meeting in Fulton, meeting down. I was talking to your wife about Jesse Talty, seeing if he wanted to have it, because he's always saying he's got land and willing to have us come out and hang out. I think there probably does have to be.
Well, I'm not saying there doesn't have to be a network. What I'm saying is if if you're an individual that is so, so there's a lot like me, there's a lot of this, why is it that the idea, the aspect has to then specifically move to you to engage with you?
No, that's fair.
You engaging with the aspect, with the idea.
No, I got you, and you know what? And I think it's a lot about what's going on today. You know, it is. It's just people are, and I think too, what people have to understand too, and maybe this kind of kept people away. This is not a group thing. This isn't a Heartland thing. This isn't a recruitment opportunity. That's not what this is about. This is going way above that. This is about us getting together, and I'm talking everyone. This isn't, even if it's just the usual suspects who show up for all the 2A rallies and all the other, if it's just them, it's still not going to be enough. It's got to be bigger than that. Mm-hmm. And the message has got to be bigger than that. It has to be coming together and finding common ground. Again, several of us here have had, talks, actual real conversations with people in BLM. And don't get all crazy with, fuck that. I get it. But again, if we're ever going to change anything in this country, we can disagree on the things we disagree on, but we have to find that common ground. Much like if you think our forefathers came together in a room and they went, hey, you like this, and this? Cool, all right, everybody's in agreement. Let's go. It's not how it happened. I mean, if you read anything about the history of this country, it was not like everybody was singing Kumbaya on day one.
Right.
It was very angry in the beginning. There was lots of deliberation, lots of talking, lots of it took finding common ground that, hey, you know what? You're right. Maybe this is a little too far. Let's find common ground in the middle, and we'll base it on a common ground, and that'll be fair for everyone.
Look at it this way, Mike. If everyone watching our show watches this live stream or talks to somebody about what we're trying to do, the easiest thing I can say is just forget everything you thought you knew about the way this country runs. Forget everything you thought you knew about politics, and for the time being, set your ideas of the other side to the back burner.
See, and that
I can see people right now literally screaming at their phone or their TV or whatever they're watching this on, saying, "Oh, you can't have a conversation with an Antifa member."
But we know that. I have this conversation with a lot of people that
I have literally stood face to face with these people that are called Columbus Antifa and been called a 6'5" hobbit. I've been there. There are people that are completely gone to reality. They don't understand what's going on. You can't talk them out of the stupid. They are just, duct tape won't fix it. They're just fucked.
But see, that mentality, though, is dangerous, because there are people I've talked to that have seen that way, that have talked the same way like as Antifa does, but after sitting down and actually having a real conversation with them and actually making them look at... Hang on. And having them actually look at their words and how they're inciting immediate anger and response because of they're not being careful to be the same respectful that they want. So when
right.
And that's where if you want respect, you have to also give it in the same amount. You can't just expect F you, this is going to happen. And pointing that out to some people, it takes that whole taking their exact words out of their mouth, feeding them back to them, showing them how insensitive and how crappy they're being to other people. And I've done it on both sides. I've done it, like I had a conversation with my dad where he was throwing around snowflake this and snowflake that, and I'm like, how are you going to have a conversation with anybody if that's all you're saying? Because anybody else that doesn't believe exactly what you believe, which is a small number of people, they're never going to side with you because you're already belittling them and putting them down.
Yeah. Have you had the opportunity to compare the Proud Boys to Antifa?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're basically the same thing wearing different monkey suits. And yes. I said that.
Yeah. Yes.
Very.
I'm sorry who I've upset, but
I said it to their face.
Yeah. I mean, that last part that you said is definitely you need to drop the petty crap. You need to stop with you're just this to hurt somebody else, because you're throwing that out there because all you want to do is hurt somebody. Stop trying to hurt somebody. The other two things, though, that you said, don't take away what you know, because that takes away your fight and your fire.
No, I'm
you said drop what you know.
I'm not saying take away what you know.
Hey, I'm a literal person, and you said what you said, and I
understand. You're a hobbit. I get it.
Hey, I'm still literal.
But I said, forget what you think. How did I say it? Let me get
I am rewinding the tape at this point.
No.
The tape. Anyway, I said that not because you shouldn't remember what the Constitution is, not because you shouldn't remember that there's 3 branches of government, not because you're supposed to think like AOC. More along the lines of what you think the government works right now. Where you have to have. How many people do we know thinks the only way to go to the State House and stand in front of the State House is with permission from the State House?
Well, right.
With State Highway Patrol on all sides. Let me tell you this. Friday night, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. because nobody else showed up, so we only stood there for 2 freaking hours. There wasn't a State Highway Patrol officer to be found.
Because they didn't know we were coming.
Assisted the Jewish gentleman carrying sandbags. He just wanted to know why the hell we were stealing the sandbags. They're taking the menorah down. It was all good. He walked back inside. Everything was done. The only other time we saw any sign of law enforcement was a cop pulled down High Street, turned around, parked on the other side of High Street from us, sat there for about, 15, 20 minutes?
Probably.
Talked to a security officer and eventually rolled his window up and left. Yeah. That was it. It wasn't a rally. There wasn't State Highway Patrol all over the place. There were barricades up against the front side of the State House.
I asked permission to come there.
Right.
Nobody had permission. We were just fucking there.
Right.
Because it's our State House.
Well, and Palmer, Palmer makes a good point about the common ground we need to have is our corrupt political system, not just the politicians itself, but everything that's going on that infringes on us and our rights. And the crazy thing is when you talk to people on that basic level, 90% of everybody agrees with you. But then, of course, those other filters start falling into place. Oh, but you have these kinds of, you lean this way, or you're a fair weather political person because you straddle the fence because I don't believe in either side. You both can fuck off. And I said it. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I'm not really, but
that goes to something else that I was going to talk about at when we met, and we talked a little bit about it. But so there's a group in England, in the UK, that is called the EIU, and they wrote a white paper right around between 2014 and 2016. But the EIU is basically they're an economist group. They write analysis of countries based on their economy, their politics, the response of people to government, and things like that. So they're basically, what they do is they help large companies and countries decide where to do business and where's best fit for what they do. Well, in in between that 2014 to 2016, they wrote a white paper where they, for the first time in history, declared the United States a flawed democracy. And by what they meant is that at this point in time, the American people have the largest time in ever history distrust of their government, and the vast majority of legislation passed in government does not represent what the people want.
Right.
And that's on a world that is on a world scale. They're a company that does that on a world scale, and that is what the world is looking at us. So I mean, our own people outside of our bubble in the United States realize that our government is basically fucking us on a daily level, no matter who you are politically.
Mm-hmm.
And but we don't see it ourselves because we're too angry yelling at the left side or the right side, depending on whatever side we're supposed to be part of.
We're in that.
That's what's got to change.
We're in that relationship that we can't see the disgruntled craziness that's going on because we're inside of that relationship. We can't see it. Yeah.
We're the battered spouse.
Yeah. Well, we all are.
That's why I said battered spouse. We're the battered spouse. We're the ones.
It's crazy.
We're here, but it's our government, so we're going to take care of it. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix this. I mean, when you look at what's happening with the election and the rest of the world watching this shit, going, hey, by the way, we've got a bunch of fucking evidence. We'll send it your way too.
Yeah.
Like, when you're watching this, it's amazing how many people don't look at world news.
Well, I mean,
don't look at news from anybody else.
And look at how we treat people here in the U.S. that take information and go, look at the disgruntled crap that's going on here. Now they're hiding in other countries because.
Well, now to be fair, we have a very, very good system of fact checkers. Misinformation or half truth or whatever.
F book and their stupid ass fact checkers because
it's not just F book, man. It's not just F book. It's Twitter. It's
I guarantee you, if I posted a story about how hair doesn't digest in my digestive system, and you can pull it out of your butt while you're pooping, they'll fucking tell me that I'm half wrong in some way, shape, or form. And yes, I'm going to poop jokes now.
Yes. You are, yes. There is some truth, but not all.
It's all of them. It's all of them, and I know we're talking about we need to come to the center on this, but when somebody starts speaking truth, have you noticed that they get banned, they get blocked, they get shut down, they get told to sit down and be quiet? You're not allowed to speak anymore. They get 30-day bans.
Hell, it don't even got to be truth. All it's got to be is like we've talked about before here about us. All it's got to be is about having a conversation with somebody, coming together and coming to an agreement on something instead of just fighting with each other.
Yeah, because if you're inciting violence, if you're angry at the white man, or if you're angry at the black man, or we could start a KKK Facebook page and they would love us. They would never fucking ban us. The minute you want to talk about uniting people, oh, you people are evil.
Right.
Hey, we don't want any of this like conversation shit going on.
Well, this could be treason right here because you're trying to get people to come together. Really? I mean,
it's insane. And it's just and it's the sadder part is it's working. Think about it. I mean, look at how many rallies. Again, you just talked about it. You tried to have a civil, not even trying to be a smartass, you actually tried to have a civil conversation with these people who were there basically angry at they didn't know what, because half the shit they were spewing wasn't even anything that was going on stage.
Yeah.
They were just being disruptive.
They didn't even want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it because you were on that side of the fence, so you had to be the enemy.
Yep.
You had to be.
It's because they were told you were the enemy.
Right.
When actually, in reality, half those people sitting down in a conversation could have had a good conversation.
Let's go with the Columbus head of the Black Panthers. Okay?
Okay.
The Columbus Black Panthers chapter head chairman, I can't remember what Bishop's title is for it.
Yeah, right.
President, whatever it is. Myself, Eamon, Blue, which is a female that was with Bishop, black female that was with Bishop, BLM, and Bishop, the president of the Black Panthers of Columbus, standing at the backside of a Save the Children event, right? So Save the Children event's over here, news crew across the street, right? They're focused on the event, and we're standing right in the fucking path of the event and the news crew. Bishop and Blue are standing with their backs to them, but you can tell they're not white people. And then there's two big white guys standing in front of them. Okay? The news crew literally did this. They stared at Bishop's back and into our conversation for about 2 minutes. You could tell they were waiting for blows to start flying or elbows or something. And when none of that happened, and just conversations were happening, and laughs were being had, and jokes were being made, the one news camera that was watching this event happening panned away from us, went to the exit of the underground garage under the State House, and filmed the bicycle Columbus PD cops riding their bike convoy out from under the garage. And then packed their shit and left.
Well, because it's not news if you're not beating each other up. I mean, clearly, watch your news feeds. If it's not, I mean, I'm sitting here, I am so sick. I just got a new phone, and I'm so sick of the news feeds that I haven't renewed my news feeds on my phone because all it is people killing each other, beating each other, shooting at each other.
Yahoo! Dude, Yahoo has gotten horrible. Yahoo is like, I mean, dude, they're like the new MSNBC.
Oh boy.
I mean, they are just, I mean, they used to lean a way, but they ain't leaning anymore. They're just like, we'll be over here.
Right.
I mean, the stuff on my news feed is so like, and it's almost like the news that they put on there is almost like Inquirer stuff. Right. I mean, it is so like.
Oh, I said it on Friday. Who would have ever thought we would have lived to the point where we are literally living in the Men in Black first movie, Men in Black segment, where K looks at J and says, "This is where you get real news from," and it's the fucking National Enquirer.
Right. Yeah.
You ain't kidding, man.
That's where the fuck we're at, guys. Like, you can't go to the mainstream media and get what's really happening.
No, not
you have to go. You have to go look at the alt news source.
Yeah, and then still research it yourself.
Well, do you realize how many people I'm seeing right now that's like, Fox News lost their shit after Biden won president. They accepted Biden. They just lost their shit. Newsmax is where it's at. I looked up Newsmax. Mm-hmm. It's nothing more, nothing less than the same fucking shit, just on a more right side.
Right.
It's the same shit, just a more right side. You still have to take the damn time to actually research it, see for your damn self. I mean, God, if you're a member of the Heartland, for the love of Christ, go into Conspiracy Corner, go into Around the Fire and say, hey, I found this article. Can you look that up? Can anybody else look into this?
Yeah.
It's not that hard, guys. I'm gonna ask this question because I've got a feeling that eventually we're gonna do something again. We're gonna network together. We're gonna do something again. So I'm gonna ask this question one more time on our last 3 minutes of the show, or 4 minutes, whatever the fuck it is.
And share it out.
And share this out. Don't forget, God, don't forget to share this out. What is it gonna take for us not to say, hey, we're gonna come into your town, and we're gonna set up at your local restaurant, and we hope you show up. What is it gonna take to say, we're gonna do a thing, and if you want to be a part of something, show up? What is it going to take for you to show up? That's the only thing I can ask.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know we're very limited on the shows that we've had here versus when we were over on the other page. We've asked that question a million times. What does it take? Tell us what it needs to take for you to show up. I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if anybody else realizes it, but this fucking year has flipped our country upside down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were already rotating, and now it just went...
I mean, I think it did a couple of barrel rolls to end up on its head. I mean, if we were driving, if under Obama we were on a bullet train to fucking socialism, over the last 4 years we at least got into a steam engine going that direction, but the bitch has derailed and done a fucking couple of barrel rolls and is now laying on its fucking top, sliding down the tracks.
And we just keep bending over and letting them run the train right up our ass.
Oh, right. For the love of God, yes.
Have they done it enough, though, that we barely feel it anymore?
I'm starting
Some of us feel it every goddamn day.
I'm starting to feel it a little.
Well, yeah.
I'm starting to get a little angry that they stopped using lube.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Getting a little angry about it.
Well, they're not even being shy about it anymore. I mean, come on.
No, they're not.
They're not even...
and we keep taking it.
So 2 minutes, guys. 2 minute warning. Here's my only question. Is it because of your damn job? Is that what it is? Is that what it is for most people?
Well,
you're doing it on a Friday at 4 o'clock? Well, I can't make it. Well, bitch, show up. If you get off at 5, drive.
I'm going to tell you what. Everybody that showed up had a job.
Right. And the only reason I wasn't there is because I was losing my job and I had already taken all my vacation time because of it. So I couldn't take the time off. Now, if it had been tomorrow, I could have been there all day.
Let me do the drill sergeant. Jeremy, just say to me, no excuse, drill sergeant. Just say it. No excuse, drill sergeant.
Hey, I still need to get paid, sir.
Just say it. No excuse, drill sergeant. No excuse, drill sergeant.
I can't be a part of being support if I can't support my family.
No excuse, drill sergeant.
Well, and I mean, but at some point you have. I mean, if you think we're gonna make changes with zero sacrifices,
right?
Then you're right. Don't show up.
Right.
Don't show up, because you're gonna have at some point. And I said this, and we're almost there. The longer we wait to try and change this, the more likely it's going to take violence to change it. We're running out of time. That it's going to be that there's going to be peaceful solutions to getting this changed. If we wait too long, we're going to get to a point where there's so many freedoms that we're no longer afforded that we're going to have to. Their violence will have to happen to get them back. That's just the bottom line. Bottom line.
Right. And on that, we are on the hour here, aren't we? Yeah.
We made it. Oh.
We made it. We actually made it right on time. I'm amazed.
Hey, we killed it right on time.
Yeah, and 2 weeks in a row, I might add.
Right.
Hey, I guess we'll have to do it for 3 and see how far we can go.
We can try that.
I can stop getting the part-timer conversations going on every time I hear people.
Wait a minute. Everybody, just to let you know, unlike some folks who just can't seem to make it, it's my fucking birthday and I'm here.
Hey.
Oh, nice job. Happy birthday.
I had something lined up, but I kind of accidentally X'd it out. And it's gone. I don't have time now. So anyways, HeartlandDefenders.com. Heartland Defenders here on YouTube. I had to stutter and make sure I didn't say the other website.
Yes.
Like, share, subscribe. Share with your family. Hit the bell so you know we're live. Check out the website. Check us out at the gun shows. Last weekend was Summit, wasn't it?
Yep.
No,
Berea.
Oh, Berea was last weekend. When is Summit coming? Or did we already do Summit?
Oh, here. I want to make this statement before we go out, Jeremy. Heartland Defenders is not a militia. We are not here in Battle Rattle going to fucking act like we're G.I. Joe every weekend to train and be soldiers. No, that's not what we are.
No.
And we're not also the TV show preppers either. We're a
We are
nice
not preppers.
we're a nice
We're
group that makes sure that you're prepped
or
for
show up.
craziness.
Hey, I got a better idea. Show up and have a conversation. Know what we're about.
Right.
Yep.
It's the best way to do it. Or contact one of us on the F book or message us here on YouTube. One of us will answer.
Yeah.
All
We'll tell
right.
you exactly who we are, what we are about.
All right. Thank you guys for watching that are watching now and possibly watching later. I do see we are getting more watches
Please
after the
share.
fact. Yes, please share. Open a conversation with other people. A good conversation. Let's not, go to those crutches of just starting to call names. Because you may be surprised on who you turn around a little bit. You may not completely convert somebody, but you're going to turn them around and maybe make them think, take a second to think before they react another time. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for your time as usual.
Thank you.
See you guys next Tuesday. We will be live as of all I know.
Yes.
I'll
I'll be here.
See you next Tuesday. Be safe.
Later.